Hello, my name is Milo, and welcome to my rural DoorDash ride-along. This is part 2 of my accepting 100 DoorDash offers challenge. As I said in the first video, this is not just jumping on a trend, this is actually just trying to boost my acceptance rate up, and why not boost it all the way to 100%, only to tank it again with a full day of cherry pecking as soon as I get there. In the first video, I got up to 49 out of 100 offers, so I got 51 to go. Right now, I am up in Lincoln City, which is not my usual zone. It's one zone over, and I came up here to do 2 different jobs, and I got a couple hours to spare in between, so I figured why not add DoorDash and just do 3 jobs while I'm up here. And my first offer of the day is a Safeway shopping order. Unfortunately, 4 o'clock is not a busy time. I opened up Uber Eats. They didn't send me any offers, but they did send me on Trip Radar this package from Safeway Floral, but I decided I didn't want to do it. Then DoorDash did come through with this offer from Zeller's Bar and Grill. It's $11 for 11 miles, so it's not great, but I'm taking it. And now I'm taking a Walgreens offer. It's upside down, but that's only because of how far from Lincoln City that last offer took me. It actually is not going to be far from Walgreens to the customer, and this is an alcohol run. So that order from Walgreens was 2 6-packs of soda and 1 container of beer. They only had 1 6-pack of that particular soda available, and the way the DoorDash app works, if you find the item and they just don't have the quantity requested, you get the maximum number you can. You can't substitute the remainder, or if you can, I don't know how. So there was no communication with the customer about options because there were no options. And I did everything by the book, got to the person's apartment to hand everything off, get the signature, verify ID, all of that stuff. Customer was concerned about only 1 6-pack of soda, saying that the other individual in that household was going to be unhappy about it, and there wasn't much I could do. I'm starting off my Tuesday with a $4 Starbucks offer. I think I delivered to the same person the other day when I was doing Earn by Time. All right, now I have a $22 offer for Fred Meyer grocery shopping and Safeway retail pickup together. Now, what I think is good about this, I'm taking one to Toledo, and then the other one is halfway back to Newport along the Bay Road, which means that there won't be a lot of dead miles at the end. Then I got a $4 offer from Momiji, and it's going only 2 blocks from the restaurant. So I am just walking it to the customer because it'd be way more efficient than reparking. All right, now I have a stacked order from Momiji where I just picked up from and my car was still parked at, and 541 Tacos. I picked up from Momiji, got to 541 Tacos. They had just opened and they had so many orders in the queue that it wasn't anywhere near ready. So I'm jumping task. I'm gonna deliver the Momiji and then go back to 541 Tacos to get that second order picked up. And I'm glad I did that because I ended up still waiting another 5-10 minutes after I got back. While I was waiting for a new offer, I had opened Uber Eats and they sent me a $13 for 15-mile offer, and I declined that. And then DoorDash sent me a $10 for 14 miles, and I have to take this one. So I took a few hours off. It's a little after 6 at night. I'm back out. I noticed that Uber Eats has Quest available, so I might go on a side quest, but the first offer that Uber Eats sent me, $17 to go all the way down to Yachats, sounded ridiculous. Like, I don't think I would consider that for less than $25. It really should be $40 with the round trip. So I declined that one. And then DoorDash sent me this Lucky Tie Elephant offer, which I have to take because I'm doing this challenge, but it's actually a pretty good offer. Uber Eats decided to send me that same offer again and upped it to $29. Still not as much as I want it to be, but a lot better. So I'm taking this, I'm going on a little side quest, and we'll come back to DoorDash in a bit. While on my way back to Newport, I got a DoorDash offer from Grocery Outlet. It's about $20. It's going up to Toledo, and it includes alcohol. So that was actually probably the easiest shopping order at Grocery Outlet I've ever had. I found both items, no problems, no substitutions. That never happens there. I loved that. What was weird though, while I was on my way to Grocery Outlet, because I got the offer like 10-15 minutes out from returning to Newport, I got a phone call, and on the screen on my car display it said incoming call DoorDash, and I didn't know if it was the customer or if it was an automated call from DoorDash. But I figured this is important. I'm on a delivery. I need to answer it. So I answered the call, and I believe it was the customer. It was not 100% clear because there was a communication barrier. I think English was not this person's first language. It's not a big deal. But I'm pretty sure it was the customer and was basically asking for my ETA. So I think this person may not know how to track my progress in the app. The person who answered the door was definitely not the person who called me on the phone. Because the person who called on the phone had a male-sounding voice and a thick accent. The person who answered the door presented as female and did not have an accent. So the ID she handed me matched the customer name. It was a name that could have really been any gender, honestly. I just don't know who it was that called me. I don't know if it was her partner, or maybe it was an automated call from DoorDash, or like maybe they were auditing me to make sure I was doing stuff on schedule. Are they suspicious of me for multi-apping? I know some people do a thing called dirty stacking where they'll accept offers from both apps at the same time, but when I accept an offer on one app, I turn off the other app. I log out or pause. Anyway, that was interesting. But before I even left Toledo, I got a new offer from DoorDash, so I'm going to Safeway to do a more substantial shopping order. But it's paying me to drive back into Newport, which is lovely. I was almost done shopping for that order, and then I got an add-on for a second Safeway shopping order. Then, because I basically finished the first one, it looked to the first customer like I was just sitting around doing nothing. So she messaged me to ask if everything was okay. Meanwhile, I've got one item on each order that I cannot find. Cannot find a shelf tag, cannot find anything. I may have lost Pro Shopper again, we'll see. And it was stressful because it was 2 at a time and I didn't get to plot my roadmap through the store to do it effectively with both at once. I hadn't had the cart separated the way I wanted to. I am hoping that I'm able to push the end dash button quick enough when I've dropped off both of these orders and I don't get any more add-ons before that, because I want to be done for the night. Well, damn it. I finished the first drop-off and then I got an add-on for McDonald's. I gotta say this. Don't try this challenge. I don't recommend it. There are some orders that you really should just pass by. I'm beginning my Wednesday evening shift with a stacked order from Walgreens and Abby's Pizza, and now I have a $5 Safeway shopping order. Then I got an add-on for another Safeway shopping order for another $5. This seems like deja vu from yesterday, but actually it's much better because I got the add-on before I'd even walked into the store. So I was able to figure out how I wanted to go through the store, separate everything. Second order contained alcohol. So There's going to be an ID check on the second drop-off. And I had no substitutions, nothing out of stock. I could find everything. It was way more successful than my stacked Safeway order last night. Also, not as much stuff to shop for. I'm headed right back to Safeway again, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this offer was also $5. All right, we're breaking out of the mold of $5 Safeway offers. Now we're going to Taco Bell, $8 for 10 miles. Well, this is unfortunate. I arrived at Taco Bell and the door's locked. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, so they're drive-through only. Look at this line at the drive-through. Well, I was supposed to pick up this order 20 minutes ago. I still have one car ahead of me that is ordering.
Alrighty, what can I get started for you?
I'm just picking up a DoorDash order for...
Alrighty, let me go ahead and send that through.
Thank you. After that ridiculously long wait and discovering I've got an issue to address at home, I am ending my dash a little early tonight. It was not the best shift. Alright, it's Thursday. I'm only going to be out for a short little bit because I got a really busy day, but I am starting my lunch shift here with a $7 for 3.3 mile stacked offer from Clearwater and Momiji. Next up is an $8 for 9 mile offer from Giro Guys. This actually makes it a lot better. I just got an add-on for Walgreens also going to Toledo. Well, I thought that was going to be it for the day, but I ended up finding another tiny little sliver of time. It's a little after 5 o'clock. It's a stack for $13.65 for about 4.9 miles, I think, from Yummy Bowl and Grocery Outlet, and it looks like Grocery Outlet is just alcohol and nothing else. Both those orders are complete, and now I'm actually done for the day. I'm starting my Friday morning off with a rookie mistake where I forgot to screenshot this $5 for 1-point-something mile McDonald's offer. Next up is a 7 for 10 from Taco Bell. All right, now I got a Safeway shopping order, $23 for 9 miles, and all of that mileage is getting back to Newport. So that was a fun shopping order. There were several items that I could not find, and most of them I had shelf tags for. Customer was responsive about substitutions. Actually, she just wanted to refund everything that was not there. It honestly went as well as it could have, all things considered. And before I even left the store, I got a notification that my customer added an additional $10 tip. Now I have a $5 McDonald's offer. Not going very far. Another run-of-the-mill quick and easy kind of order. Well, that was fun. I was delivering to a hotel, and the customer didn't put in the room number and didn't respond to my message. So I had to go to the front desk, and they had to track down who my customer was. Front desk did get through, find the person. I took it up to the room. Had a slight delay, but we got it done. And now Uber Eats just sent me a pretty decent package delivery offer, so I'm gonna go do this. So when I accepted that order on Uber Eats, I did not realize it was a triple stack. It was going to 3 customers. And then the funny thing was, I delivered the first one, and then I delivered the second one. And the house where I was delivering the second one, the internet connection was kind of weak, so it's taking a moment for the app to load, completing that delivery. I'm like, well, I'll start to drive away while I'm waiting for that, because I need to get better signal, and I don't want to just idle in this person's driveway. And then it went through, and it showed me the address to the third customer, which was the same address as the second one. So I had to turn around, back around, and go right back to that same house. Next up is a no-tip $2 McDonald's offer. Here we go. The next offer was a $5.75 offer from Taco Bell. We got a stack for Taco Bell and Lupita's Kitchen for $5, both going to the same customer. And now I have a $4 offer from Ultralife Cafe. I had to wait nearly half an hour for that order to be ready, for a $4 order. I kind of wanted to unassign it, but I felt like That's kind of cheating on this challenge if I unassign. Now I have a Safeway shopping order. This is a small order. Back out at 6 p.m. and I'm starting off the night with a stacked order from Momiji and Giro Guys that is, I think, $17 for 4 miles. It's a banger start to the night. Now we got a $5 alcohol run from Safeway. Well, this is a disgusting offer. $4.10 for 8.2 miles. Shopping at Safeway for, what was it, 12 items, 25 units, something like that. It's literally 50 cents a mile, not counting the dead miles I'm gonna have to drive afterward. Fortunately, it was actually a really easy order to shop for. Nothing was out of stock or difficult to find. There was one item that I was supposed to get 4 of and there were only 3 on the shelf. That was the biggest issue we had. I ended up waiting around a little bit, but now I got this stacked order from 541 Tacos and Safeway. There is alcohol involved with the Safeway order. Now, I've got an offer from Safeway again. And this doesn't look like it's going to be a difficult one to shop, but it's going all the way to Wallport. So the mileage on this is not great. It's about 1-to-1, and then I have to drive all the way back. I successfully shopped for that order, took it to Wallport. The customer was waiting for me at the bottom of the driveway. Said even with my truck, I had trouble getting up this driveway. It's a vacation rental. So I didn't want you to try and drive up this driveway. I'm like, okay, but do you want me to help you carry the groceries up the hill? Now I'm on my way back to Newport. It's 8:45. Not even really sure if I want to keep going. I might call it here. It's now Saturday night. Actually, not quite night yet. It's only 4:30. I'm on Earn by Time, and I'm starting with a long-distance Starbucks delivery. Drove back to Newport and waited for about half an hour, which was sad. And now I've got a stack for Clearwater and Yummy Bowl. Hopefully one or both of these have a tip because the last order was a no tip. Luckily, I did get tipped by both those customers and I had a little wait time at one of the 2 restaurants. So the pay on that was like $13, I think. Now I've got an offer from Abby's Pizza going 2.8 miles. And pizza on a Saturday night could have a bit of a wait as well, maybe. I wouldn't be upset if there was a wait on Earn by Time. Although I do want to get through as many orders as I can quickly so I can be done with the challenge. So if I don't have to wait, I also won't be upset with that either. And now I have an offer from Lucky Thai Elephant, 3.8 miles. After dropping that off, I had probably about 15-minute wait, and then I got this stack from Lupita's Kitchen and Momiji, going about 4 miles. DoorDash in-app navigation made a mistake that usually only happens with add-ons where it navigates you to the wrong place. This time it was not an add-on, it was offered as a stack in the first place. It sent me to Lupita's Kitchen first, and I thought that's odd because Momiji was written first on the offer card, and as soon as I got there it said navigate to Momiji. As Providence would have it, I dropped off the second part of that stack in South Beach and then got an offer from Flashbacks in South Beach. So I'm gonna go pick that up and bring it back into Newport proper. And the next offer is from Asiatico. So I bet that offer was handed to me on Earn by Time because there was no tip on it in the system, but there was a cash tip. And now I'm going back to Flashbacks again. I think I'm at 93 deliveries, 93 or 94 deliveries at this point, and my acceptance rate is at 98%. We're getting close. We're getting close. The end is in sight. I don't know if I'm gonna get there tonight, but if not tonight, it'll be tomorrow. So that is super exciting. I should have just stayed parked there for like 2 more minutes before driving back into downtown because I got another Flashbacks order. So I gotta loop around and get back on the bridge. So that was a delivery to a hotel. It was supposed to be a meet outside. Couldn't find the customer. He didn't answer my call or my texts. And I went up to the door with the intent of knocking. There was a do not disturb sign, so I followed the steps in the app to say I couldn't reach the customer, and I left it in front of the door, took a picture, started to drive off, and then he messaged back, "I'll be outside any minute, meet me outside." So I wrote back, I left it outside the door because he didn't answer. At that point, it had been 4 minutes. And now I've got another offer. I'm going to Abby's Pizza and Momiji, so this is another stack. And let's go do this. It is Sunday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. This is a weird time to be out dashing, not what I would normally do, but my schedule for the day got completely messed up. So here we are, and my first offer is a $5 Taco Bell run. It is 4.3 miles, but I was still driving into town when it popped on my screen, so it's actually not going very far at all. Well, I forgot to screenshot it, but I got an add-on for a second Taco Bell offer for $5.50. So now I'm delivering 2 of these, which means I'll only have 3 orders to go. So now I got a $16 stack from Fred Meyer and Simple Mini Market. That was probably one of the worst shop and delivers I've ever done. So it was 3 items. There was flowers, there was a greeting card, and there was a specific dog treat. So the dog treat, I had to ask for help to find it because it wasn't on the shelf it was supposed to be on. But I got it. The greeting card, the person accidentally picked a birthday card but wanted a Mother's Day card, but the approved substitutions were all birthday cards. And when I tried to scan a Mother's Day card as a replacement, which is what the person wanted, it wouldn't let me do it because it wasn't the right kind of item. And then the flowers, I asked for help. It was out of stock, completely sold out of that particular flower for Mother's Day. The approved substitutions were also out of stock. No, one of the approved substitutions was in stock, but it wasn't actually what the person wanted. And apparently the approved substitutions were just the automated ones by DoorDash, not actually what this person suggested. So she didn't want that substitution, but then it wouldn't let me swap it out for another one without having me manually search for the item. I couldn't just scan a barcode. But when I tried to input the name of the item, it didn't recognize it. It didn't even come up as a flower. It came up with tea and all of these other things that were not flowers. And the person was saying, well, why don't you just refund the whole order? But I did get the dog treats. So I refunded the other 2. I decided to be nice and just buy the other 2 out of pocket. She said she'd increase the tip. I said that wasn't the point. I just want to make it right. She made good on her word, even though I wasn't expecting it at this point, but she tipped an extra $10 beyond the $11 tip that was already on the order. And coincidentally, $10 was almost exactly how much I paid out of pocket. I paid $9.98 out of pocket. And now I'm going to Safeway for a double stack. It's $46. One of them's going to Seal Rock. Looks like they're both decent sized orders, but nothing too crazy in the shopping list I'm worried about. I'm gonna park right next to the cart return because I am gonna need it. Well, that did take a very long time, but I had no substitutions. So that was wondrous on the whole. That was offer number 99, and the second half of it was going to Seal Rock, which is this unincorporated community on the way to Walport, and I need to go to Walport tonight. I don't like dashing in the Walport zone because I often will wait for like 2 or 3 hours with no offers. So I was just thinking, I really don't want to drive back up to Newport for one more offer and then go back south. But as Providence would have it, I don't have to, because either I miscounted or I had accepted an offer at the end of the day before I started this challenge or something, but I'm at 100%. So I have completed this challenge 1 offer sooner than expected, and I got my Pro Shopper rating back with that offer. Now I'm done for the day. Tomorrow this will be a separate video just because the length of this video. But I'm gonna post another video soon where I'm gonna go to Corvallis, which is the nearest non-rural zone to where I am, and I'm going to turn on both DoorDash and Uber Eats and cherry pick. And so I'm going to see how much money can I make being super picky in a less rural market, and can I make enough that I still have at least a $1 to $1 to mile ratio, including my round trip driving to Corvallis and back. And subscribe to be notified when that video comes out. And hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you very soon with that video. Happy dashing. Whew. Don't try this at home, kids. Don't accept every offer. I cannot stress this strongly enough. Don't do it. It's not worth it.